Hello and welcome to some Torpid content that's a little bit different from the usual Dawn of War 2 with a sprinkling of occasional Iron Harvest. Today we're going to be looking at Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus, and what's this here? It's a new game settings. We're going to play on hard. Now I will say, you know, I'm a very good gamer, it's Torpid, Senpai, all that shit. Why are you playing on very hard? Well, I'll tell you why, because I'm enabling Perma-Death. And there is the Heretic DLC, which basically means occasionally you have to fight Dark Mechanicus, which is really hard. The missions are super challenging. I've never completed this game either. I played a bit of it, got bored, stopped. But they've done a big patch just before the Heretic DLC where they've added all these settings where you can play like Iron Mode and that. Before that, it was really trivial because you could lose a Tech Marine and then you just pay a little bit of money and then you come back the next level, and it was quite inconsequential. It was very easy. With Permadeath, if I lose one of my main Tech Marines, oh, I'm saying Tech Marine, I mean Tech Priest. This is Mechanicus. If I lose my main Tech Priest, he's gone forever. And that's a massive blow because you're leveling them up each mission to mission. Kind of like, what's that dungeon game that's meant to be really hard? Darkest Dungeon. It's kind of like that. You level your characters up from mission to mission, and then eventually you unlock the final dungeon. But if you lose a character mid-dungeon, that's it, they're gone. So this should make it a little bit more interesting. Now, I think Iron Man just means you can't save. And I'll be honest with you, this game with Permadeath on is actually very challenging on hard. You do not need it on very hard. Just getting the +1 extra fight on each map is a big deal. And then 25% extra Necrons, huge deal. The HP's not that big of a deal, but these two, massive. And just 50% more Necrons, 50% more HP, that's too much. What the rule is going to be for me with regards to Iron Man, I'm going to be able to save 3 times in the entire run. 3 times in the entire run. Now, as I say, I've not got really far into the late game, but the early game is generally very, very tough. Like the first couple of dungeons, so to speak, are incredibly hard. So let's just load up a new game. So I need to just play super cautiously early on, and if I can get a good start, save fairly quick. Like, I'm not going to do it where I only save every like third or whatever. I've skipped the tutorial because I've already played that. We've got this much Blackstone, so this is like your hub area. You've got these guys down here who are your various different Tech Priests who all specialize in different things, and they give you missions. At the start you can only take the missions from Skevola and Videx. Skevola, I believe, is... I thought she was the leader of the Skitari. Maybe it's this one. I'm not sure. This guy is like an ecclesiarchy fella. He's really religious fanatic. Is Videx. So, okay, so it also tells you down here the enemies that you'll be fighting. So this map you only encounter enemy Necron warriors, which aren't too difficult. On this one, however, you have Necron warriors and you also have Canoptic Scarabs. So it's obviously not going to mean much to you guys if you're not familiar with the game. But it's helpful to understand what you're going to be up against, essentially, because you can choose different loadouts going into the map. You can choose different troops to bring with you, you can choose different weapons to equip on your Tech Priests, you can choose different Tech Priests to bring with you if you're fortunate enough to have that many Tech Priests. And you also are told about your rewards. This actually looks like a good set of rewards here. The Curatio Claw is really nice, it's a healing accessory. Healing is really good because, as I say, if you lose your Tech Priests in the middle of the thing, like in Darkest Dungeon, they're gone. So I want to have a lot of heals to keep them healthy. Furthermore, if you finish a level and you don't have full HP on your Tech Priests, you have to pay to get them back to full HP. So actually, you can reduce your... Well, you can maximize your income by reducing the amount you have to pay for repairs through careful use of things like the Curatio Claw in turns where you're easily dominating the enemy. And this macro stuff is pretty nice as well because there's 2 different types of damage in the game. There's energy damage and physical damage. This thing only uses 1 cognition cost, which is essentially like an action point, because it's a turn-based game. You only have so many action points per turn. So 1 is the minimum action point requirement, and it deals 2 to 4 physical damage, which is pretty nice actually for an early game. Let's look at my cohort. So I've got 2 tech priests. I've got Magos Jeremiah and Magos Menarius. And then the only troops that I can get so far are the servitors. Can I click off of him? What's going on here? Ooh, hang on. Let's change the colour scheme while we're at it. Custom. There we go. I like this. With the deadly pink dudes. Okay. So yeah, we get the combat servitor. Get rid of you. I don't know why I can't select it. I'll explain them when we're in game anyway. So I do want to fiddle with these a little bit. So let's see what we've got so far. So these weapons specifically for Jeremiah, or are they more... Oh no, they're just generic weapons. This is the pool of war gear that we have at the moment. So we have a basic power axe, which uses 1 action point and 1 cognition point to do 3 to 5 physical damage to the opponent, but it's a melee weapon, so you have to be next to them. And then I've got a pistol, which uses no action points, but only does 1 to 2 energy damage. And then I've got this, the Arc Scourge, which does... It's a melee attack, and it turns into a cone AoE around it. Does a lot of damage, but that's at the cost of 3 cognition points. So I probably want one guy to get this, maybe like a tanky guy, and then the other guy can take the blast pistol and just start to be more range focused. I'm not very good at this game, I'm not very experienced, so anything that I'm doing here, don't expect it to be correct. It probably isn't. I'm very much just going at it with a whim. Oh wow, that's crazy. Gain +1 damage, but lose 1 HP. So this is the perk tree essentially for your tech priests as they level up. You spend your currency to repair them, but also to level them up, as well as to buy troops for the next dungeon. So there's a lot going on here, and it's a lot about optimizing your Blackstone, which is your currency essentially. Secutors are masters of man and machine. They wield the often rare trait of charisma, definitely rare in the Adeptus Mechanicus, that one. With their inspiring leadership, they are able to multiply the efficiency of Skitarii tenfold. So these guys basically are troop buffers, as well as summoners. So you can get perks that make your Servo Skull more functional. So this one means that I can use my Servo Skull not just to collect cognition from around the map, but also to buff my allied troops. All troops in range attack select a target. That's good if you've got a lot of ranged troops, but you see in the early game we're not going to have many ranged troops. I think you definitely want an Engine Seer. Unlike the other priests, the Engine Seers are found to serve on almost every Imperial planet in the galaxy, seeing to the well-being and maintenance of all things mechanical. These are your healers. Since we're playing on... not Iron Man, what's the definition? Perma-Death. It's not a very exciting name, is it? We definitely want an Engine Seer. That's really good when you can get enhanced repair. All the Caraccio claws have reduced cooldown and restore more HP. So I think we'll start to work down this one. What's the best thing otherwise? This is good, to restore 1 HP at the beginning of the unit's turn. The rest of it's not very good until the late game, really. This guy is good for like scouting. He can dodge enemy melee attacks, whereas normally like moving nearby to enemies without actually engaging them lets them get a free melee hit on you. Well, he can run past them basically. He has extra movement speed. Reveals enemy stats when he's in melee range. I don't really think that's priority though. We just need like straight up combat power. An often overlooked discipline, the Tech's Auxilium takes on tasks that other Tech Priests avoid. They are the oil within an engine that keep the great Mechanicus cog running as smoothly as they can. I don't know what this does. Your next weapon's cognition attack is reduced by 2 points. That's kind of like special attacks, but I'll explain that later. Give a silver skull to a Tech Priest, it buffs their armor. Choose between 2 canticles, damage to all Tech Priests, 2 energy, and 2 physical armor to all Tech Priests for 1 round. Oh, I don't really like this. This guy's good, the Lex Mechanics. They're essentially data analysts. They give you more action points. So I think this is your ranged guy. A Dominus is heavily trained in the art of war, using their skills to monitor and calculate highly complex battle maneuvers in the blink of an eye. Yeah. Yeah, this guy is like your ranged DPS. Very powerful. Okay. I think these 3 are the priority. Definitely going to get this. What this also allows is, as you upgrade them, you get more capacity for superior augments. So as you can see here, there is an augment requirement for the power axe of 1. So I can put the power axe in here. Now it's filled up 1 augment capacity. So you can't give him like 3 weapons because he's not high enough level. He has maximum augment capacity, so I can't give him any more. But if he was leveled up, then I could. Now this guy's going to be a Tech Priest. I can level him up again to make him more durable. I think I may just do that. Then you can choose when you get these intermediary points between the perks, you can get an armor type. That seems pretty good. You do have to equip them. So it takes up a slot and it takes up your augment capacity as well. But that's given me more HP now, so I'm up to 13 HP with this Tech Priest, Jeremiah. And also I have 1 energy armor, which reduces the damage I take from energy attacks by 1. Oh, this guy has no capacity for anything else. That's kind of terrible. So I could make him pure melee, or I could make him ranged. Ugh, that's not very good. We'll make him ranged, because he does not have a lot of HP. Okay, let's do the first mission. This looks pretty good, but I'm actually scared that with the Canoptic Scarabs as well as the Warriors, it's going to be quite difficult. This still gives me a healing thing, which is cool. So I think we'll do this one first. Hopefully not lose on mission 1, that'd be horrendous. So I only have 2 Magos right now, so I'm going to obviously select both of them. And then I only have a choice of 1 type of troop. Later on we'll unlock more troops. So I'm going to fill out my roster with 4 more servitors. Canticles are one-time effects that you can use. So we have the Litany of Life here. I can use this once per dungeon. Restores 5 HP on the active unit. You unlock more just doing various things gameplay-wise. Let's get into it. There is no voice acting in this game, so you shall have to bear with me. I called you here, Lector Dogmatis Videx, because your knowledge of spiritual matters and the cult Mechanicus will be crucial in dealing with any moral threats on Silver Tenebris. He is a fanatic, is Mr. Videx, and so he responds, I have 543,021 works of scripture stored for rapid context topical retrieval. There is no obstacle beyond my capacity to counsel you on. Scaevola realizes this is an unnecessary use of cogitator power. A waste of resources, Videx. Insufficient use. Go to Augmetic Bay for improvements. Clearly she disagrees with his philosophy. The Xenos tomb is revealed to us as a great hungry maw that seeks to consume our very purity. Blasphemy reeks from every corner of the tomb of Agralek. So, how do we proceed? Faustinius is the leader of this group of Magos under a little excavation plan, essentially to find out special artifacts that are on this planet, and now we've discovered Necrons, as you do. So we're planning how we handle this situation and what we do about it from our Arch Mechanicus up here, which is what we're seeing here. The what would this be? It's not a starboard. It's like the control room. I don't know. I'm not much into ships, I must admit. But Videx says, I shall take my cues from the writings of Archmagos Veneratius Hieraticus. Seems a bit ironic, really. Let the stench of corruption be swept aside by the sweet winds of faith. And so one of my sensor servers will cleanse the spiritual corruption with blessed incense. Then deploy one immediately. With your assistance, the Omnicized work shall be done. And so this is what we must do. We must protect the servitor that is going to spread the blessed incense. Because that is what Videx believes is the best way to deal with these Necrons. So the sensor servitor is deployed at the tomb entrance, Magos. I am ready to send it on its way. Arkepra is the leader of the Scutari. Scutari, if you do not know, they're not really servitors because they have more autonomy, but they're basically pseudo-robots that work for the Adeptus Mechanicum. They're their basic troops. They're very augmented. They're very loyal. They're not fully robots, they are autonomous, but as they get better and better, they become more robotic because they just lose all parts of their humanity because they want to be like the tech priests. All of them just want to enhance themselves in any way possible. And a Scutari compared to a Guardsman is a lot stronger. All those cybernetic enhancements are very powerful and their weaponry tends to be a lot better as well, but they're still a lot weaker than the ubiquitous Space Marines. So eventually, later on, we'll actually unlock some Scutari troops to use in battle. But for now, all we have is combat servitors. Halt, Subdemeanor. The sensor servitor is a delicate piece of machinery. It is ill-suited to hostile territory. Fragile indeed are the tools of the righteous. We must escort it on its sacred duty. Which Kepler is not very impressed with. But if the spiritual integrity of the mission truly is at stake, Subdomina Kepra, it is worth the risk. So now we must clear the way. Let's do it. This is non-standard behaviour and speaks ill of the menials whose task was to maintain this machine. Beware the deviance of thine own tools, for the enemy finds his entrance thereby. Quite unexpectedly, a previously unused Voxcaster unit pops out of the servitor's face panel in a synthesized voice. It attempts to engage the cohort in philosophical discussion. How does one respond? Do we rip out the servitor's Voxcaster unit? Do we converse with the machine? Do we perform a diagnostic on the machine to determine the source of this behaviour? Well, I doubt very much that whilst you're in the middle of a Necron tomb, you want to be engaging in philosophical discussions with a servitor. So let's avoid that one, that sounds ridiculous. Ripping out the Voxcaster unit? Well, yeah, maybe, but previously unused Voxcaster unit. Well, it was previously unused as well, so we weren't even using it. We don't want to be spending unnecessary time messing around. So rip it out. The cohort removes the Voxcaster unit with a minimum of damage to the servitor. Yeah, because it wasn't even used before. Come on, we're tech priests, man. We know how to do this shit. The unit proves to be of ancient design, containing capacitator coils of a type the Adeptus Mechanicus can no longer replicate. That's a common thing as well. Adeptus Mechanicus, for all their fantastic, for all the great technology that they have, they can't actually replicate half of it. They've just stolen it and copied and pasted it. So yeah, that's the thing. The servitor continues on the mission in silence. Lovely, that's what we want. We don't want to be engaging in philosophical discussion inside Necron tombs. So now we gain the Cognitive Canister, which is an augment that you can give. Grants an ability with a cooldown of 2, target an allied troop. Its next base attack gains 1 damage and 25% critical hit chance. I mean, that's okay, I guess. It's not great. Wait, how do I move? Oh, was. Trying to move the directional arrow keys here. No wonder it's not working. What's going on? So, let's go this way. Could this be a form of Xenos map room? Most perturbatory. Throne knows. Throne knows. Throne knows what blasphemous notions they had about the stars. This chamber's walls are covered in elaborate star charts, covered in extensive annotations in the Necron language suggesting they record journeys amongst the stars. Do we ignore it? Do we take picked captures of the star maps? They may prove informative. Do we destroy them, due to our purpose being to purify the tomb, and that the works of aliens should not be suffered to exist? I think we bloody take pictures of it. What do you mean? It's Necron star charts. Like, come on. Necrons are old guys. They've got some information. We're the goddamn Adeptus Mechanicus. We need that information. Yes. We get AP. Or CP. Let's move on. This is a glyph. Due to every turn you spend traversing the dungeon, this increases, and you spend too many and bad things happen. So our presence has been detected, whatever that means. You choose a glyph to click on. Bad things happen or good things happen depending on the glyph you click. That was RNG. I got 45 Blackstone, I'm lucky. Fair enough. On to the next one. This is no good, Magos, no good at all. The Xenos corruption takes physical form in this murky fog. Can anything be done? So the noisome miasma of fumes from the Xenos machinery in the area is masking the servitor's sacred incense. Oh, that's horrendous! No, you can't live with the miasma's presence. The whole point of us being here is to spread our blessed incense. If miasma is stopping it, then we must deal with it. Purge the corruption with prayer. Scour away the corruption with flame. Oh, that sounds good. They both sound very appropriate, but I think we should use flame. Get rid of it. Prayer has power, but I cannot deny fire does too. Righteous flame scours away the miasma, allowing the cohort to advance. The sight of sheets of flame burning away the toxic fog is indeed inspiring. That's what you want when you wake up in the morning as a text priest. Let's go. Onto the battle. We're in a good spot here. We've got full health. They've only just risen to 2, which now means there's extra Necrons to fight, but that's alright. We'll deal with that as it comes. Xenos form detected. Gauss weaponry, highly volatile. It's also widely known that they will self-repair, reanimate, or reconstruct themselves if left the time to do so. Wounds that would instantly kill a Skitarii are equivalent to a Class C graze to Necrons. Kill all enemies. So as you already know, I'm only going to be fighting Necron warriors. So that's really good, it simplifies this a lot. Now, we have an initial deployment area of here. Enemies can spawn out of these red locations. These locations where it says 6, you get points if you go up to them and you basically move a tech priest right next to them. They can loot them for money. And then you can destroy them afterwards to bring this time back. This timer is really important. Not only does it go up with every turn you use, both on the overworld map and the in-game battle map, causing these buffs to happen to the enemies, but like in Darkest Dungeon, how you only have so many days to get to the end and win, this is the same in this game, and it's not done on the basis of one dungeon attempt is one night. No, it's based on the number here, so if I always want to minimize this number if possible. Anyhow, for now, Magos Jeremiah, you can go here. And then Magos Menarius, you can go here. I don't know if I want to be hyper aggressive. Probably not. We'll deploy a couple of servitors. In fact, you know what? I should really be deploying the servitors at the front so they can just eat the damage. And then the beautiful thing about servitors, so they only have melee attacks, which isn't ideal. Okay, so they only have melee attacks, but they do have an ability where every time they get damaged, they give me an extra command point, an extra AP essentially. So yeah, I want to get my tech priest over there, so I can see the range as well is 8 squares. I can't shoot through my units or over them either, so they're now blocking me. But that's fine. I can go scan these with my servitor skull. And then I get a cooldown for 2 turns, but it's given me 1 AP. You can also use this to scan the enemies to check if they've got certain armor. It's randomized at the start of the battle whether they'll have like physical armor resist, energy armor resist. You can learn that over time, but it might not be obvious immediately. And you can see at the top the order in which units will move. So first things first, we're going to move up here. I'm going to give this a smack. I do want to eventually destroy it, but only after already looting it. So I'll move him up here, hopefully bait the Necron to attack me. Oh, there you go. We can come up and loot it. That's it, that gives 75 Blackstone, not bad at all. Now there is another one over there that needs dealing with. We'll chop this, that does use some AP, but it's okay. We have a lot of AP. Oh, we got it gone. So as you can see, that reduces the awakening level, which is sweet. Everything unfortunately is out of range though. Which is fine. Grab that loot, there's nothing for us to shoot. What's this? Oh, that's the ability because Magos Jeremiah is a tech priest, so any negative status effects essentially that I get, they last -1 turn because of him having this. And then I think that's passive. And then this is an active ability that can use cleanse the target of any negative effects. Anyway, end turn. So they are going to get in range and shoot me here. God, they have decent range, don't they, these Necron Warriors with those Gauss guns. Does 4 energy damage, but because that is a Servitor, I get a cognition point back. Same happens again here. Now the Necron Warriors have very powerful guns, but their melee attacks are a lot weaker. And another cheeky Necron spawns at the back. At the start of every round, all of them reset as well. I'm going to spawn in another Servitor here. Another one here. That'll do. Oh great, and we get to move up straight away with this fella. That's good. So I want to get into melee range, for sure. So we'll run up here, get into melee range, give this fella a smack. So now that I'm in melee range, he has to take an Overwatch melee attack, or an opportunity melee attack as it's called, if he wants to move away. Likewise, I still have movement range, so you can move somewhere, shoot from that location, and then keep moving for the rest of your movement range in this game. But if I want to move away from them, now that I'm locked into melee, so to speak, he's going to get a free hit on me. So I'm just going to end that turn, and that keeps him locked in melee now. And as I say, the warriors are a lot weaker in melee than they are in ranged. Their melee attacks are only basic attacks as well, not like... Ooh, I could like run up, give that fella a shot, and then leg it. Which is probably what I'm going to do. That seems like my best option. Oh, I don't know if I'll actually be able to get away. Oh, so this guy, as you can see, has 2 energy armor, so he's basically immune to that weapon. Don't know what the movement range of Necron Warriors is. I imagine it's not terribly high, but given the range of their guns, they can probably hit me from there. So I think I'll go all the way over here instead. So you can use an extra cognition point to get to double your movement range essentially, and then another one on top of that to triple it, etc, etc. So here's our opportunity attack. We get 2 in fact, and that drops him. He's gone. But you can only do 1 opportunity attack each time. So that's something to bear in mind. Move this guy up here. Combat Servitors are great because they're free. They literally cost me no Blackstone to deploy, no Blackstone to repair, totally free. I can actually get into melee with this guy, which I should probably do. So we'll move here, which is beyond our normal range, so it is going to use our last point, and now we can't hit them with melee attacks, but what we can do is we can go pew pew to this fella, do a tiny amount of damage to him. He's got 8 HP left, but the crucial thing is we can now move here, potentially get an opportunity attack against him. There you go. Does some damage, doesn't take him out. He gets a shot off on that Servitor, but that's fine. As long as they're hitting my Servitors and not my Tech Priests, I'm happy. Because remember, even just healing the Tech Priest is going to cost me money. We want to go up and get that though, before we end this fight. We also don't want to drag the fight on too long. Lots of things to consider here. So we're going to put this fella out of his misery on the floor. You've got to make sure you actually kill the Necrons, don't just drop them down to their bodies, or they will revive themselves after a certain amount of time. Just Necron things. Try and pin this guy. Bang. If you keep using the same weapon over and over again, you develop the machine spirit, which essentially is like a special effect for the weapon, or a special attack. It's different for every weapon. So for the Servitor and his arm, it just does +3 damage, which is quite a sizable increase actually, because they don't do that much by default, but there you go. We've got our servo skill back. Can I shoot this guy? Not from any reasonable range. We'll move up here and shoot this fella. With the machine spirit we get a little bit of bonus damage when they do 2 damage anyway. I'm going to use my extra cognition points to keep on moving. Grab the rest of these, get up there and scan this. Then this guy's gonna move. Sorry. I kind of do want to tie that Necron up in melee, but it's fine. Oh wow. 4 to 5 damage there with the machine spirit, that's pretty good. And then what I can do is I can actually heal this guy as well. There you go. Then he's going to get that opportunity attack as well, so I think I'm in a pretty good spot. And I'll just keep this fella around here to charge this guy eventually. We already know he's got 2 energy armor. This guy must be nearly dead. This guy's only got 2. Like, if I can shoot him with my gun and hit him with a melee attack, he's pretty much done. Should dispatch him. No, it didn't. Wow. Okay, fair enough. Fine. But then I get an opportunity attack, and because I crit him, it just automatically kills him. It doesn't drop him down to the body, but just fully kills him, so that's great. Then he did 2 damage, which finishes off the other guy. Fantastic. So now we just need to destroy the scanner up top, as well as loot it, and we're in a good spot. Let's get looting. More Blackstone. Efficient plays, boys. Probably shouldn't be getting so hype, it is the first level after all. Well, I don't know where he's going here. This is kind of annoying. I want him to come to me so that I can kill him quicker and the turns don't build up. But fine, he doesn't seem to want to do that. Let's go spam him with servitors. Oh. Whoops. Come on, roll the 5. Oh wow, we did. That's great. Okay, now we go down here. Grab that. Loot that. Sweet. So at least we complete this with 2. We should be able to do it before it gets to 3. Him down. Servitors just make brilliant meat shields, giving you the more cognition points. You don't care if they die as well, because they didn't cost you anything to start with, so who cares? You do get some of the money back if you Like, if you deploy a Skitarii troop and then you let them, you manage to keep them alive by the end of the mission, you will get some money back in that instance. So there's always an incentive to keep the valuable troops around. But not your bloody servitors, because they're free anyway. So we loot that with that. Then we just need to deal with this final Necron warrior, who is now slowly approaching us. What was that, like 3 steps? They can move 4 steps at a time. I'm going to take out that servitor, that's fine, that's what they're there for. Now I've... kind of blocked in, but whatever. We'll get him. We'll get him before this fills up, at least. Not great movement range on these guys either. Ah, we're not even going to do any damage here because of his energy armor. Yeah. You resist that, that's fine. He's only going to shoot the servitor, so that's cool. As long as I can beat him without losing any actual HP on my servitor, then without losing any actual HP on my tech priest, then we're in a good spot. One damage, woohoo! Might as well scan him. Okay. Get into melee, quick! There we go, no resistance to physical damage. So we get something done. This is going to do like nothing anyway. I just don't want to take damage with my tech priest. Oh my god, 4. I guess machine spirit buff. Good damage. Yeah, we're gonna get into melee here. I think 2 melee attacks should probably seal it. Yeah, there we go. Sweet. So we've done it perfectly there. We got both of the Blackstone loot. We destroyed both of them, so we only ended up getting 2 Tomb Awakening by the end of the mission, and we lost no HP on our Tech Priest, which means it's going to cost us no Blackstone to finish this mission. The Sensor Servitor reaches a location where the air currents through the tomb will take its sacred exudations to every corner of the tomb. The cohort guards it until its instance is fully deployed and can escort it back to the tomb entrance. So Videx should be pretty chuffed with that. A positive outcome, Magos. It is right and proper that you see as I do the dangers posed by the corruptive influence of the Xenos. It remains to be seen if the tomb is rendered less dangerous for our troops, but at the very least the place is less malodorous. 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 It smells better. Fair enough. I trust you will continue to consider the alien with the hatred and disdain they deserve, Magos. As we explore this world, remember the words of binary hierarch Gefsamor. The weak in mind will seek to understand the Xenos. The strong in mind will destroy them and bless their ignorance. Doesn't sound very tech priesty, Videx. But if you say so. Either way, mission accomplished. So we don't have to pay any Blackstone repairing these, and they're all free. And then for every enemy you kill, we also get extra Blackstone. We killed 4 Necron Warriors that were worth 12 Blackstone each. We get extras. Then we get 91 for winning the mission. 195. I guess we looted, I think that is. But Tomb Awakening is at 2% now. When it gets to 100%, game over. So we need to try and finish the whole campaign before it gets to 100, or we just lose. So there is like an ongoing timer here. Sweet. Okay. So I guess now we'll look into what we want for our cohort. Let's look at the deployments. So, oh wow. If I can complete this mission, I can get Skitarii Rangers already. Mission 2, that's pretty cool. It's not going to be easy though, there's flayed ones. Canoptic Acanthrites, I don't know what they are. Necron Warriors, I think they're Wraiths. They got like reworked. They're Wraiths. If they are Wraiths, then they're really scary in this game. I remember the Wraiths being horrendous, so we're not going to do this mission yet, because we're just going to die. We'll do this one, because it's only Canoptic Scarabs and Necron Warriors, and I want this Karashu Claw to heal myself. That'll be a big, big help. First things first then, we need to get some more level ups. Let's look at our Magos. Magos Menarius, you need an upgrade, my friend. Oh, we can change the names! Oh, I didn't even know that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Right, bear with me, bear with me. In fact... Oh no, I was going to say, I'll get you guys to name it, but probably not, because I'm going to do another episode. Actually, no, I can do. You guys can name these. Whoever you want. Who do you want these guys to be? So let's have a look. We've got Magos Jeremiah. He is the Engine Seer, so he's going to be our healer and repairer, so bear that in mind when you're naming him. And then Magos Menarius, oh, let's see what we're going to make him. I'm going to go with either Dominus or Lex Mechanic. I think probably for now Dominus. +4 range of all weapons is just bonkers in the early game. So we'll go with that, and then we'll get him some armor. What's the best Dominus armor? Ooh, +3 meters of movement sounds fucking great. Wow. That head's pretty good as well. 2 HP max and 1 energy armor. Ooh. Movement's good though on a Dominus. So like extra range and extra movement, that's really strong. I think I want that for now. Extra range and extra movement just sounds nuts. So now he's rank 3 as well. This guy is obviously going to be range based, so I'm not going to give him the axe. I want him to have that extra range. And then he can wear the Dominus legs. There you go. Now he's 13 HP as well. Doesn't have any armor, but he does have extra movement speed. So yeah, this guy's going to be our shooty tech priest from a distance. So bear that in mind when we're naming him. The naming probably won't be in for the next episode, but the episodes after that I can just change them, can't I? Unfortunately, I don't have the augment capacity to use any of these support wargear things that I've got. This would have been really nice. Just a free extra 2 HP heal every 3 turns. That'd be really cool. Place it down here. That'd be great, but no, we can't get it. It is what it is. That's fine. So yeah, simple upgrades for now. Oh, what's this technology tree? Oh, it shows you like all the things that we've unlocked so far. All the different weapons. What's this? Support tools. Oh my god, that's a lot of fucking troops. Jeez. Ship. Don't know what that is. Oh, and then here's the canticles as well that you can unlock. So you can try and aim for some of these as well, if we see any that are particularly strong. But for now, that is going to be it. Move on to the other mission and fight the Canoptic Scarabs and get this Karashu Claw in episode 2. A pretty good goal. We get a pretty good gun for it too. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Tell me if you're enjoying this. Tell me if you've got any advice, because as I say, I've never actually completed this game. I've only probably got about 1/5 of the way through at best, and then there's the Heretic DLC, which I've not played either, but I know it's pretty damn hard. So advice would be much appreciated. But for now, Torpid out.